What's the weirdest compliment you've ever been given? That I'm like a piece of furniture. Don't do much, but you notice when I'm not there. Because you're so fucking great. That I've the most beautiful eyebrows. We're even asking if I plucked them or what routine I had. BTW. I'm a guy. But NGL. I felt fabulous days after. Guys have the best eyebrows and lashes. Do you pluck them? We do. But no. I never plucked my eyebrows. It's true. Guys' eyelashes are generally longer and fuller emo. As someone with fair wispy eyelashes, I'm jealous. A coworker once told me that I was a cross between Han Solo and Drive. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets. This was in 1998, and I still can't stop thinking about it. Was that supposed to be a compliment? An insult? The worst part is that he was pretty accurate. Actually, not gonna lie, if someone told me I looked like a cross between Han Solo and Drive Honeydew, I'd be so proud. Not looked. Was. He meant it to describe my personality, not my looks. I'm depressingly cynical and insufferably pompous in equal measure. Someone said my husband and I are like Statler and Waldorf. They said that about us when we were just friends, so it makes sense we'd end up married. You are so tan. How did you get so tan? I'm Indian. I'm Indian, alright then. Keep your secrets. A teacher in high school told me several times that I had a perfectly shaped head. A couple with a newborn daughter asked me how my parents set me down to sleep when I was a baby. They wanted to know how my head could be shaped so perfectly. We were at a funeral for my husband's uncle with our 2-month-old, and one of the older ladies there complimented me on my baby's head shape. Such an odd compliment. I thought so too. But then I had a baby whose head wasn't perfectly round. I'm super tiny, and she was not. So part of her head was a bit smooshed in utero. We learned that's really common. Because of how their skulls haven't fused yet. You fix it by rotating your baby's position so the flat spot evens out as they grow. Or you get them a helmet. TLDR, there's a lot of weird headed babies out there. Man, I never get tired of the comparisons you can make to babies. Old people, drunk college students, roasting a chicken, swaddling them like a burrito, rotating them like a plant. My friends and I were talking about what kind of potatoes we'd be. One of my best friends told me you'd be a loaded baked potato. People pay extra for that good shit. I certify that as 100% smooth, and there is no way in hell I could come up with that on the spot. Sometimes I come up with really great stuff. Only it was 3 minutes too late and the moment has passed. Your freckles are so sexy. They remind me of my sister. Freckles are sexy, his sister has freckles. Both of those are normal statements. Sexy freckles remind him of his sister. Now that's messed up. Jaime Lannister has entered the conversation. Someone told me my eyes were upside down. Not sure what that means, or it was even a compliment. They seemed friendly. This one made me laugh. What does it mean? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. And it gets the people going. What is this? A top music video? You look comfortable. Not as in I look relaxed. She meant I looked comfortable to rest. Lean or lay on. At first I asked if she was politely saying I was fat. She explained that I had a look about me of being someone who was comfortable to cuddle with and not hog space or covers. I took it as a compliment. I hope it was. This was a stranger I was having a conversation with during the morning train commute maybe 3 years ago. Came from out of the blue. As well. Did you get a number? Nope. I'm kinda dumb like that. I was too busy analyzing the comment to act on anything. I'm the same way. I had a girl once sit next to me in a bar and tell me her pants were so wet right now, and I offered to get her a towel. The pizza who pierced my ears back in August told me my ears were perfect and to call her if anyone said otherwise, and she would fight them for me. I bet she says that to all the ears. I, an 18Y/O male at the time, was catcalled while walking up the street. The assailant screamed, "You have very good posture, you're a." I had actually been involved in a pretty serious car wreck months prior and had been working on my posture with a physical therapist to address whiplash related pain. Gotta engage those abdominal muscles just under your belly. I think you made some physiotherapist very proud that day. You know, if that were the case, I'm happy for that guy's enthusiasm. Still makes me grin after all this time, hahaha. I work retail and was told this by a customer. You're so nice. You must have been bullied in high school. Edit, because people asked. I was in fact bullied in high school. I'm in college now, and since it's online, the only people bullying me is my family. Fair though. She wasn't wrong. F. You look like you're good with your elbow, said by a 50-plus-year-old man biking by. He then swung back around telling me I should try out for the local roller derby team. This sounds like a dad directing women to his newly out daughter's roller derby team. My baby girl is gonna be drowning in pussy if I have anything to say about it. I want to see this sitcom. Dad being embarrassingly over-accepting after his daughter comes out in the first episode, while mom and siblings / other relatives don't really care. Actually, might work better as a slice of life anime. Title: My Precious Daughter is a Yuri? From a teacher: you're like a barbed wire fence. Maybe something gets past you, but it leaves tattered pieces behind. I'm not very attentive, but somehow I manage to pick up info I need and use it appropriately. Mine just straight up told me she thinks I'm ADHD, but this way is nicer. Edit, she was right though. Mine basically did the same, except starting off the sentence with "I think there's something wrong with your child" in front of me. In year 3, spoiler, there was nothing, as she puts it, wrong with me. Look, I think your kid is broken. Better put him in rice. You remind me of a swan. Large, white and a psychopathic attitude. 50% chance it'll either attack you or try to fuck you. So, just like my ex, after we broke up, likes to eat stale bread and shits on the grass. Random stranger while I was on a run. Nice neck. I'm not saying I believe in vampires, but I made sure my windows were all locked that night. If you don't invite a vampire in, they can't enter, right? The very same reason you shouldn't have a welcome mat. S solution. WELCOME caret UNLESS caret YOU apostrophe RE caret A caret VAMPIRE. Other nuste caret TF caret OUT. Well, now I'm gonna look on Etsy and see if that exists. I took me a couple decades to realize guys like you are the best. Thanks, Gran. You'd look great in an off-shoulder dress. I'm a guy, but if I ever want to start wearing dresses, I know I'll choose off-shoulder ones. They meant to say you have ice clavicles. Way to give the guy the cold shoulder. Clever. Oh, that's clever. Terribly clever. With the right Mac you could make a really good looking girl. I'm a guy BTW. You could be a part-time model, spending part of your time modeling, and part of your time next to me, and the rest of your time doing your normal job. And when you're on the street, depending on the street, I bet you are definitely in the top 3 good looking girls on the street. Yeah, depending on the street. Oh. During an internal ultrasound I once got told I have beautiful fallopian tubes. I've been riding that high for years. During pelvic floor PT they have the ultrasound on, so you can see that you're doing the exercises correctly. When you do it correctly your cervix curls up a bit and looks like it's smiling. My PT said, "Look at that happy little cervix." Now whenever I do my kegels, I picture my smiling little cervix. Open bracket, close bracket. LMAO who killed me with that little face at the end. My bladder is like a pretty peach according to my urologist during a cystoscopy. You look ominous, the mailman said to me while I sat on the curb reading Time magazine waiting outside my apartment for the mail to arrive. A lot of people try very hard to look ominous and can't do it. I was a pale 6 foot tall, 130 pound white guy in a t-shirt and shorts. People need to try harder. It's the Time magazine hole waiting for the mailman. You could have been the Reaper subtly telling him his time was up. That seems like a good plot line. Wow, you're stronger than my dad, my GF. The first time I picked her up. That's not weird, dude. My father used to pick me up every time in a fun way and now I miss it. So it may be like that. My world changed forever the day I realized that I could pick up my dad. It happens to all of us eventually. Age and infirmity reduced my mother. A brick wall of a woman who I had seen beat up men twice her size in fist fights, and who was beating me, a guy who was taller than her, at mercy well into my 20s. Into this small, frail creature who I could lift with almost no effort at all. At least once a week it seems I read a comment that reminds me my dad will be old someday. I'm so glad he had me at 18. That's a lot of time together. I had pink eye and the nurse was looking into the non-infected eye. You have beautiful retinas. Thank you. ? This just reminded me of the weirdest compliment my dog has ever gotten. His vet called me to update how the test results went and left a voicemail that started well. The results are in, and Geo has got beautiful blood. Beautiful. When I went to the doctor I juiced they were training a nurse. They were about to draw my blood and the older one poked at my veins. She said I had nice bouncy veins. So they're easy to see and draw blood from. Bouncy veins are awesome. If you're in the medical field you would know. I have very vascular forearms and I feel so tickled every time nurses look at my arm and go ooh nice veins. It's like I'm helping them have an easier part of their day without having to really do anything. I even had a couple of nurses playfully argue who would get to poke me when I was giving blood. I always prided myself on having nice veins. I'm super pale too, so they really stand out. Until I was in the hospital having my first son. The nurse overestimated and used a larger gauge. She blew out my vein. I was already swollen from pre-eclampsia and then I bruised horribly. It looked horrible for days. One evening about 12 years ago I was on a bus headed down to the financial district in Nick. I can't remember why we were on a bus instead of taking the subway, as I rarely took buses over the subway. Anyway there wasn't many people in the bus and every passenger was able to sit in a seat. Directly across from where I was sitting was an elderly Asian woman. She sat there smiling at me for a couple minutes. I wasn't sure if she was smiling at me or just in my direction, so I just smiled back at her. When we reached her stop, she came up to me and said you are even more beautiful than Meryl Streep. I was so flattered but also tickled. Meryl Streep is a good 35 years older than me. I never thought of her as a beautiful woman, but that didn't matter because someone did, and they thought I was beautiful too. Considering they were an old lady they may have thought of a younger Meryl Streep lol. You speak very good English from a native English speaker to me. I'm from Connecticut. I better speak English well. Have you lived overseas? That happened to me as well. However, I speak multiple languages on a regular basis and also move a lot. So each time I go back to my home country, people who don't know me think I'm a foreigner who just happens to speak their language fluently. Nope. Lived in the States my entire life. I spent a week in Spain once. And I speak enough Spanish to order a cappuccino or some beer. A woman I was talking to in my dad's shop thought I was not me but my sister. When I tried to correct her that I'm me, she told me no you are not. Insta my name is fat and has short hair. She is not beautiful like you. Like. WTF lady. WTF. Pandas have feelings too. Some random cute girl in town told me I was a boomting while I was waiting at the bus stop after school. I assumed it was an insult at the time. It was only days later that I discovered that she was calling me hot. Edit. Thanks for the silver. Close bracket. Not being up to date with slang can suck big time it would seem. Can confirm. Was told my outfit was on fleek and got super offended. Oh my god I forgot that was a thing. You finally look like a human being. It happens every time I get a haircut lol edit. Thanks for the awards. D also. It's nice to see that you finally look like a human as an universal saying rather than just something I thought was from my country. I wonder what other sayings are like that. My girlfriend was about to tell the lady cutting my hair make him human, but ended up not saying that. Eventually the hair lady ended up saying something along the lines of you seem so nice. I had one lady tell me to make her boyfriend human again. Like what the heck am I right? This feeds into what I believe about your inhibitions making you who you are. None of this alcohol reveals your true self rubbish that people think. What you don't say is just as important. Or did the hairdresser have the wrong impression of your girlfriend? I went to my 25th high school reunion and a woman I knew then didn't recognize me. When I told her my name she said, "Oh my gosh, you're so handsome now." Got him. That happened to me too. The most popular girl in my class, she took a good long look and said, "Pastor, is that you?" But not in a bitchy way, more in a dumb way. We ended up having a really cool convo. I didn't read your username right away, so my mind immediately was like, what gets you the nickname of Pastor? Long story short, I fabricated 3 scenarios, but my favorite is the Italian mobster that kills people with various types of noodles in creative ways then leaves a signature pasta noodle. Edit, when I have more time. Damned responsibilities. I'll write out the whole story I'd thought of with the mobster and the gist of the other 2 scenarios, if people are really interested. Edit 2. Holy guacamole. Batman. Thank you for the award and the upvotes and the comments. I'm reading through, and you'll have given me some fun ideas to include with the original premise. I'm going to try and give you a full-fledged story. I will post an update in about 2 to 3 days work/school allowing. We could tell it was a revenge killing. He left a bag of imitation cauliflower pasta. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.